Our buddy Michael Beller from Sports Illustrated rejoining us here on The Rally for another edition of Beller's Bracketology. Once again, we will look ahead to the weekend of college hoop action. And these aren't the biggest conferences in the nation, but I tell you what, the Big East and the WCC have a couple of great matchups to keep our eye on this weekend.
Yeah, Tyler, let's start with that game in the Big East between Xavier and Butler. Villanova definitely has separated themselves from the pack in the Big East. Even these three other great teams, two of them going to be meeting here on Saturday, they are definitely a step or two behind Villanova, but Xavier and Butler are going to be two dangerous tournament teams. Had them both seeded as 4 seeds coming into this week. Maybe don't change based on what happens in this game. They are going to be a couple of highly seeded teams regardless of what we see in this matchup. But right there, number 55, JP Makura, one of the best players in the country, getting a lot of national notice now that Xavier is playing such great basketball. This is going to be a really fun game between a couple of teams that can score the basketball. Villanova gets the attention as they deserve in the Big East, but these are two teams that you are definitely going to want to tune in and see to have your brackets ready in a couple of months. The other game, Gonzaga and St. Mary's. Now, both of these teams are likely to make the tournament. We haven't seen the WCC send two teams to the tournament in some time, but this is a key game for these teams because you don't get very many opportunities in the West Coast Conference to build your resume. This is basically it when Gonzaga and St. Mary's meet one another. Gonzaga, a 2 seed for me right now in the West, a real threat to UCLA's primacy out west. I think that we're going to see both of those teams highly seeded in the West region, no matter what happens the rest of the year. But Gonzaga definitely could take the Bruins off the top line. If they're going to do that, they're going to have to beat St. Mary's at least twice if you assume that they get each other in the West Coast Conference championship game as well. A great game. And finally, I do think we're going to see St. Mary's get into the tournament, but one win against Gonzaga, even just 1 out of 3, that would really help them a lot.
Resumes are being built with the college football season over. It's time to focus on the hardwood here. This edition of Beller's Bracketology focusing on the Big East and the WCC. If you're an ACC fan, he checks out some Saturday matchups that will be prime for the pick. And take a look at that by searching NCAA basketball, ACC hoops, or Beller's Bracketology on our 120 platforms. You'll find that on demand. Plenty more Twitter rally to get to when we're back in 60 seconds.